Hello, everybody. We're back. Last week, and we had a con going on, so we weren't able to stream. Unfortunately, it was a fun con, but it's a lot more work to do a con than it is to do the stream. Believe it or not. Today, Dawn's going to be painting. We have this Ooze monster from last month's Dragon Trappers Lodge.
Yes, last month they did a Ooze versus Mimic. Or it's Mimic versus Ooze, but same thing, just different ways of saying it. So yeah, like I legitimately didn't get most of them even listed on our Etsy page because last month was a whirlwind of crap.
Yeah, I think
but
I think the only one we have listed is the Mimic Knights or something like that.
I've got a few of them because as I was starting to get this month's stuff listed, I started getting some of last month's listed as well. But I still am massively behind on new listings.
Dragon Trappers has a lot of stuff.
Yeah, they
do. Them and Epic, right? Epic
is
a lot of
huge.
minis every month.
Well, and we just picked up Crippled God Foundry. And we picked them up last month. So we had one set, but then the month before we picked them up, they had a whole like zombie set. So we bought that separately so we could add that. And then this month they gave us the new set, which is all like, almost like alien stuff. So it's really cool. And it's different because we don't really have a whole lot of sci-fi at all.
Uh-huh.
But they also gave us a throwback set, which me and Rockfan were talking back and forth on Discord earlier. It's a whole like necro set, and it's one of my favorite death models because they not only have, death with the hood and the scythe, but they have wings that come out really beautifully separated feather wings. And then the scythe has a flame coming off of it and also a crow sitting on the top of the
scythe.
Like the scythe comes out here and the top of the pole, basically he's sitting right there. So it's just a really cool sculpt. And then they have an undead paladin, I believe is what it was, or it was an undead female fighter type. I don't remember exactly what it was right now because like I was literally looking at them this morning for the first time.
Yeah, Dawn was trying to show me and I didn't have my glasses on. I'm like, that's probably cool. I like the colors in the render.
Yeah, that's all he had to say was like, oh, look, pretty stuff. But the really cool thing about this model, they have the model itself, and then they also have a bust of it. Well, it's hard to tell in the group shot of it, but when you look at the individual shots, the female fighter, like I said, she's undead.
I can try and look them up here in a little bit if you want. Pull them up to share. Not ready for that, but
no, like the really amazing part that I just absolutely love about this is you look at her face and you're like, oh man, that face looks really cool. And then you zoom in and look at it and it's actually a mask, and like an iron mask on her face. And if you zoom in and look, you can see the bolts that are holding that shit on her face. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do that bust because that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited about it. And we're using plastic cupware as plumbing issues. So our kitchen sink is completely dead in the water.
Until Monday afternoon.
So we are not using anything that has to go through the wash because we got no way to wash it.
Yeah. Unless we go to the bathroom.
I'm not washing my dishes in the bathroom. I just can't do it. It's just, my heart will not allow it. It just won't. But anyway, back to the thing that we're painting today is actually an Ooze monster. So he's like super, super awesome. And if you want to switch to, you already did.
I just did, yep.
You guys are going to go for a little bit of a ride.
And it's way darker looking on the screen, isn't it?
Yeah, it really is. Maybe you can just zoom in a little bit. Like, this is where I want to paint, so I'm trying to... Basically, like, we're getting ready to start, and we realized that the camera was not put back where it was. We had stolen the camera to do some other stuff.
Yeah, I was streaming while I was painting up tiles to make coasters and yips.
So if you zoom in, you're going that.
Yeah, see, just right on that line is where. Oh, you're gonna move around. Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna adjust one.
Am I zoomed too much?
Probably for this model, yeah. So I think if I paint kind of right here.
There we go.
We will have to adjust that for tomorrow because that's not the most comfortable spot.
Don't worry, folks. It's not Sunday yet, but we're testing anyway, apparently.
So this is the base, this is the model, but it's got like this big floating eye, like legitimately floating eye. You can even see underneath right here.
That's better, isn't it? Ruckin says, honestly, if I'm DM'd, I would get that terrifying death model, DMing and make him the most wholesome, kind, and caring person ever. His job is helping the dead, not being an a-hole.
That's awesome.
That's awesome.
No, so they actually have the. I'm going to mispronounce the word, but it's the carry-on boat. How do you say his actual boat? The guy who drives back and forth on the river.
In Greek mythology, you talking about the boatman?
Yeah, the boatman. What's the name? It's the name of the boat or the name of him. I can't remember. It starts with a C. Anyway.
I don't remember that.
Well, we also have the boat for him as well, and it's really a cool model. But anyway, so on these guys,
better, isn't it? A little brighter.
Yeah, that's better. Because this is actually transparent.
This is autofocus is off. So.
Well, I'm just trying to show you can. This is transparent green. So
I think it's great too, Roxanne. I'm just gonna ask now, Dawn. Do we get to keep this one?
This one? No.
I'm gonna use it real fast and kill you guys with it then.
Okay. But they also have like Ooze models, like character models. So this is a ranger, and it's hard to see. But if you look at her hairs are really good. They're drops. They're not individual strands like we normally see on models, right? The same thing, we have a plasmoid witch and a plasmoid ranger is what these are. But same thing, if you look at her hair, you can really kind of see the fact that she's got drops of ooze. For her face and everything is very, very smooth. Her hands, everything is very smooth because it's ooze. It's not skin. So I actually have like a whole collection of models that I'm like, I'm going to print this and this and this, and I'm going to paint them all. This little guy has been sitting here for 3 weeks. He's been allowed into the boat or into the bathhouse. Look carefully, you can see his no face. So he's had a little bit too much to eat. Then I have another bust for me to paint because I've got some new technicals that I wanted to test out, and he is the perfect model to test those paints out on. And from the new release
I would smooth her cheeks, rock fans.
I kind of want to print her really, really large so that you could just see how cool the model is. This is one of the pieces from the new release from Lord of the Print. His foot goes over there. I actually printed out the wrong version of this. I didn't realize there's two different versions. There's an armored version and a non-armored version. I wanted the armored version because he even has a piece on his head, and then all of this is armored. It looks really, really cool. Still, I'm still pretty happy with this. But he is a bat. So, still pretty freaking cool. So that will be fun to paint. So we have loads of stuff that we can paint, but today we're going to start on this guy. This is either going to go extremely quickly because I decide that he should stay mostly green, or we will go with my plan and he will end up having a lot of purples and such like that. Right here.
I think I've got all the cameras and stuff caught up finally. Testing
Okay.
nearly complete.
Yay! Now, time to pick a brush. The most stressful part of my day for painting.
So I'm going to finish my coffee and I'm going to abandon Dawn for a little while.
I'm used to it.
We have an e-cycle event today, one of those once a year kind of things. So
yeah.
We've got 3 computers I need to get rid of, old computers. So I'll run downtown, do that, and I'll be back before you're done.
Yes. That actually shouldn't take very long at all, really.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I am going to start off with mummy robes. Because basically they've got eyes all over the place. Actually, probably what I should start off with face, but I'm not going to. So I want, like, this is going to be colored, but this I'm going to leave green in the pupil itself, but the eyeball I want to be white. And I might actually have to do multiple layers, so I think I'm going to start there. This is going to be the most interesting white paint. No.
Rockfan says, I got little wooden apples, mushrooms, and acorns from Dollar Tree. That's cool.
That's awesome.
There we go. And moss, I'm painting them and making druid spell jars. Oh, that's cool.
I was going to say, depending on how small, that can lend to a lot of, like, I look at stuff like that and like, is it small enough? I actually was at a con once and over at another booth, and they had a bunch of tiny things that were just tiny. And I was painting a commission for a beholder, but it was a metal beholder. In both senses of the word. Like, they had these tiny, tiny, tiny dice. We all know the baby dice, right? But they were metal baby dice. So I bought a set of those and I put those around on the base around this metal beholder. And while the guy was waiting for his piece, when he came back over to check on the progress, I showed him the dice and I had him pick the numbers that the dice would be showing. He picked all low numbers. Apparently his dice are always cursed.
I know that feeling.
It's the stare you just got.
When I'm a player, I know that.
No, your dice are always cursed. For my benefit, they're always cursed.
Not just you.
Yeah.
Players.
Trying to be careful here because I don't want, like I said, I want to leave the pupils green. So each one of these has, which smaller ones. Oh no, I'm gonna stick with that one for. I forgot it actually, you can actually see the underside. For those smaller eyeballs, I want to leave all the pupils the transparent green as well. That just means that I have to be more diligent in my painting. Not just slapping paint.
Samwise shared the stuff from Dollar Tree. Got it on the screen for you.
Oh, that is super cute.
Right? Oh, thank you for the reference, too. Got a D there and a brush. Those are neat.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you're looking at scale, though, the acorns are a little bit terrifying, considering they're larger than the apples.
Just reminded me of a video I was watching this morning and a person came out of their house because there was a lot of noise in the yard. And when they looked out on their back deck, there were pine cones being thrown. Like, it seemed like they were just falling out of the tree, except they were hitting really hard, like they were being thrown. And when they were
Pine
like
cones or acorns?
pine cones.
Okay.
So they're like looking around and they're panning around, and all of a sudden you find him. There's a squirrel ripping the pine cone off and throwing it. I'm like, what a dick.
Move your house.
What the hell? I've never seen that before.
PT Lowry says, I've gotten up from a table at their local game store, walked out and bought more dice mid-session before. I've done that. I've done that. If you're saying you left the store, I guess I haven't done that, but I have like just said, okay, wait a second, and I'm gonna go up to the counter and get more dice. Rockfan says, for anyone curious, I posted them to Discord. Yeah, they look great.
Random hair. I've got to get a haircut.
I think my friends figured it out years and years and years ago. It used to be that they would do this thing where I'd roll bad, and they're like, look, stop using those dice. Here, use these dice. And then I'd roll their dice, and I'd roll really poorly. And then they started saying that their dice just started rolling poorly after I touched them.
Yeah, we don't actually allow him to touch our dice.
This is 20 years, more than 20 years of people saying, you can't touch my dice. So I am interested to see. Why don't you do that, Dawn? Next time I'm running a game, you should let me touch your dice. See if they roll high for you.
Why would they?
Because when I'm on that side of the screen, they roll high.
No, you curse dice. You don't ever make them good.
Right.
You, like, legitimately will... He can roll a set of dice and go, okay, I'm the DM and I'm rolling. Cool. Now I'm rolling the exact same dice, and I'm rolling them for the random NPC that I've given you to help. He died. What the fuck? How did he just die? He was just Oh, sorry. We're rolling initiative. Yeah, he stabbed himself in the face.
Oh gosh.
What did Rockman say?
Rockman says, trees have assaulted me with twigs, acorns, water, and leaves. I passed off a bee. I don't know how I'm reading it wrong. And I'm not apologizing. Okay.
I think it's I pissed off a flea. I don't know.
A fae. I pissed off a fae. That's
okay.
it. I gotcha.
Rock fan.
Hey man, I probably slept sleep in my eyes.
Your shit comes off in the weirdest ways.
I'm usually pretty good about figuring out what people mean, but I am. I know. I'm about 3 or 4 steps behind this morning.
It really is kind of. Rockfan does make some things be quite amusing as we try to figure them out.
That does make it more funny though. I pissed off a fae. I'm not apologizing.
You're boring, right? Sorry, guys. Literally, I'm just going around eyeballs.
It's gonna look really neat, though.
We'll see. That's the beauty of these sort of things where, like, you have this idea in your head of, like, this is gonna look awesome, and then you get it done, and you're like, it doesn't. Add more paint. Keep going. Are you bored already?
Thinking. I really am like 3 or 4 steps behind, so.
What he does, he pats himself on the legs when he's trying to motivate himself to get up and do something. Okay, I can do it. I can do it. It's like revving up or something. It's weird.
No, I still have half a cup of coffee. I'm not going anywhere. I am going to do, I think I told you about this. I am going to do some more test streaming. I've got those coasters painted. And so we usually use OBS. I'm going to use Prism Live Studio to do another test where I'll be on here like this, and maybe I'll work on writing or something like that, but on the plane. But we'll show the lasers running out the garage. I did a test I think I showed you a picture of that. I did a test the other day, and looks like it's going to work pretty well.
I was thinking it might even be cool to be running some out there, but then designing the next set. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I could do that too. We're working on those new alignment ones, and I've only done one. I ran a test on that and didn't like it, so there's work to do.
The thought was a cool thought, but it didn't turn out like I was hoping it would.
Well, that coaster had a bad paint job.
Well, yeah, but it was also like it was really hard to read is the main issue.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, well. Anyway, yeah, so I've got to work on lettering and stuff like that anyway. So I could run like a class coaster, a set of class coasters, and let folks see what that looks like while I try and design another.
Damn it.
Hello, Ghosty.
Hi, Ghosty.
So I could run that some stuff we know works pretty well. People see how it works while I'm also working on stuff. Yeah. Excuse me. Rockfan said, I did have a habit as a small child of grabbing a bush of trees branches and sliding my hand down it, ripping off all the leaves. Yeah. My mother warned me not to do it. Yeah. Still not sorry.
Oh.
Well, was your mother warning you because of the Fae or because of you're going to rip your hand up? Because that's what happened to me eventually.
I think I did that once. And didn't need any warning. The thorn bush.
Oh.
Did it again.
Oh. Both. Was the Fae and you're going to rip your hands up. I don't know why that made me think of it, but when I was younger, we used to do this thing we called hill jumping, which I'm not suggesting anybody does. I'm not saying anybody should do this, but just one of those.
Every time he talks about it, I'm like, what the hell? How many times did you get dropped on the head?
Oh, never. Never. No, but
Easy.
So I was the kind of guy that would, I love jumping off of cliffs into water and for swimming trips, that I like that kind of stuff. Anyway. Raffian says, but apologies are a sign of debt and weakness, and I'm not giving them an inch.
You will not beat me.
You and your magic. Anyway, hill jumping is simply, it's really tree jumping, I guess, because you're jumping from one tree to the next on a steep hill. You're trying to get down the hill as fast as you can without killing yourself. Anyway, oftentimes we wouldn't necessarily, because we were fools on a rush, we wouldn't actually look and see what the hill was going to be like below us. We'd just start. Well, one time I was ahead of everybody and I got to a bluff, and it really was like one of those movie things where I went, and reached out and just grabbed something and pulled myself back. And when I pulled myself back, I realized it was just like a little tiny branch that could just as easily have pulled right off of the tree, and I would have fallen like, I don't know, 20 feet or something. Hey, the Bald GM, how are you doing? Bald GM says, hello, everybody. I'm a Dutch retired DMGM, but still into mini painting. Yeah, you guys should check out the Bald GM. Whenever I've had a chance, I watch them. They're a great painter.
Yep. Yeah, he's fun to watch.
Ghosty says, no way, I thought I was the only one who did that. My buddies and I used to do that all the time as kids. Yeah. I mean,
never mind. I'm gonna shut up because y'all are morons.
it's fun though. If I was still young and fit, I would do that shit right now. It was so much fun. But I'm not suggesting anybody do that. It was dangerous as hell.
I will punch you in the head.
The last time I did it, in fact, I would say it was even absolutely, Ball GM, you deserve it. I would say it was borderline necessary. It wasn't really necessary. It was a good way to get through the woods. Me and my friend I was showing him where some old 19th century graveyards were, and a couple of other interesting features that we have out here in Missouri. And we weren't really paying attention to time. We got all the way to the top of this bluff line overlooking the Missouri River. Well, the Missouri and the Gasconade River. And as we started to walk back, we realized that it was going to be dark. We weren't going to make it back to the head of the trail and see the trail. So we decided, well, we'll get down to a certain point where we thought the bluff just stopped and dropped down to railroad tracks. So it was getting darker and darker and darker. We finally got to that spot and we're like, all right, let's hill jump down here. And I kind of knew actually that this was going to happen because it seems familiar that I was like, all right, I'm not sure what we'll do here, but we get down and again, it's a 30-foot drop, but we're down at the bottom where the railroad tracks are going to be. So again, a movie thing. And I'm not suggesting anybody do this. I don't want anybody to go hurt themselves. But anyway, it was almost completely dark. And we jumped off of this bluff out into the top of a tree and climbed down the tree to get down to the tracks and followed the tracks back to the trailhead.
Nope.
That was the last time I did it.
Craziness.
And probably I shouldn't have done it then. I already had one kid at that point. That's when we were living out in Herman. You and I were already married. I think. Maybe it's before.
I would say it was probably before. I don't remember it.
Yeah, it probably was before. It was right around that time.
That one didn't get me.
It made me choke. Hi, Sawdust.
Hey, Sawdust.
Okay, I will try to catch up here. PT Lowry, the Ball GM. Hey, I know you, right? Golden Ghost says, another dumb thing I used to do was go down to my local lake and try to grab snapping turtles out of the water.
And you have 10 fingers?
One day we found a really big, really mean turtle and he bit a piece of my friend's leg. Oh, we decided it was best to stop after that. Yeah.
Yep.
Growing up in Louisiana, snappers were not something I messed with.
Nope.
But I had buddies who would mess with gators, like small gators, jump in the water after them. No. Yeah, hello, Sawdust.
Babe, did you see a message on?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I actually did it before we started this time. Make sure that I got it done. I don't know if anybody was watching. That story is part of another story I told on stream for Gamers in the Unknown. One of our first couple of episodes, I told that the end of the story because after we got down and it's dark, like no moonlight or anything, we've got starlight. That's what we can see. And I think I told this story on Gamers in the Unknown. Anyway, did I?
Yeah.
So we're walking back and we're, I don't know, 100 yards, I think. Maybe a little more than 100 yards from where we parked. And we hear something. Oh, no, that's the wrong order of events. So for whatever reason, we stop and we look down at a bush and there's these big glowing eyes down in the bottom of this bush. We don't know what the heck it is. And there's no moonlight and we don't have a flashlight and we don't really understand because that's what it looks like if you shine a flashlight or the moon shining or something and it reflects off of animals' eyes that can see well at night, right? That's what it looked like, but there's no light. It's just dark. So the eyes are essentially glowing from nothing. So we went, huh, and started running. And then over on the other side of that trail, something is chasing us through the woods. Probably a bobcat. I don't know. But it was pacing right there with us, jumping through the brush and stuff. So we were just trying to run faster and faster.
And each other, not the bobcat.
Oh, yeah. I didn't have to beat it. PT Lowry says, I grew up in rural Louisiana. We played with a lot of M80s. Yep, I did do that. And did a lot of that too, Ty. Gator chasing, catching snappers, good times. You know, I was just, when it came to the gators, I got to a certain age, I should say, because we would swim in the canal next to where I lived in Santa Maria. But then when I got to 12 or 13 or whatever, I started to realize I started to realize seems like the wrong thing. I knew the whole time there were gators in there. But I started to realize, I guess, that, hey, they might eat me at around 12 or 13. So I stopped swimming in there. Lost my spot. Here we go. Osada says, yikes, we played with the alligator snapping turtles. We played with them with a shovel handle. Yeah. Sawdust Dragon safety last? You know it. Sawdust. The Ball GM, sorry, was a bit lurking while cleaning my painting desk. But PT Lowry, hello, I am okay. Recovering from a leg injury. Oh, sorry to hear that. Thanks for asking. Sorry to hear that, Ball GM. That sucks.
It does suck, but I'm also very happy that it wasn't a hand injury.
That's true. It could have been a hand injury, right? PT Lowry says, as an 80s kid, hello. All 10 fingers, toes intact and proud of it. Yeah, and I never broke anything other than toes.
I never broke anything till I was an adult, so I don't know what
when I got interested in girls, because back in those days we didn't have a cell phone, right? We had a kitchen phone, and when mom and dad weren't home, we could run back and use mom and dad's bedroom phone, which is what I would do to call girls. And then, of course, my little brother would get on the other end of the phone and go, ooh, Tyler loves you, and crap like that. And then I'd run down the hallway and then with the intent of pounding him and kick a door frame and break a toe. I did that twice. Same exact situation. Oh, boy. Yeah, I was an idiot. PT Larry says, Ball GM, hope all is well and good. Here you're on the up and up. Ball GM says, and those are great stories. Never had such an exciting youth. But then in the Netherlands, there are not much dangerous animal. Ari says, party line and your bike to get you around. Yeah. So in Louisiana, when I was growing up, we never lived anywhere with a party line, but up here in Missouri, my family up in Missouri, when we come up vacation, had party lines, and it was confusing. I was always answering on the wrong ring number, stuff like that, and grandparents would get upset with me. You're not supposed to answer on that one. That's somebody else. No moose, asks E.T. Lowry. Aren't moose only in Canada? Canada and the Arctic and stuff like that. I never even thought about moose being in Europe.
I have no clue. I just know that not gonna fuck with a moose.
No, I'm not messing with moose. Seen too many videos of them getting irritated with people.
I was watching this one video where this moose was literally just walking down the street, right? And he bumped a car, and the car alarm went off. That set him off. He destroyed
I think I saw that
car. He was so angry at it. It was like, nope, I'm good. Thanks.
So, as E.T. Lowry points out, I do have access to Google. Moose can generally be found all across northern forests of North America, Europe, and Russia. Did not know that. Didn't know that. Ghosty says we had some moose up in Colorado. They were mean as crap. Rockfin says moose go down to the northern states too. Google says they are in Europe. I agree with that. Sawdust is lagging bad. I am sorry. That's that.
That's on you, man. You're always lagging.
Well, last time when he talked about lagging, I thought it was us since I was testing out the phone stuff while I was outside painting earlier this week.
But I can pick on him and be mean to him because that's my actual brother.
Paul GM says, no moose. We have deer and boars, but they are very afraid of humans. Well, I know that the boars we have in the States, man, they'll run away from you, but don't corner them.
That's what he said. I
not want to be gored by a boar.
When he said boar, I went,
yeah.
But apparently, no. Okay.
And they can get, like, I know down in Texas, they'll get a little irritated with people too, and maybe they won't run, especially big boars. Rockfan says the car shouldn't have said that about the moose's mother. PT Lowry says, Bald GM, we have a big problem with wild boars tearing up farmlands and such here. Yeah. I remember being in Corpus Christi and taking a canoe across the lake into an area, and I've never been boar hunting or anything, but I recognized right away that they were trying to do live captures with boar over there on the other side of the lake. Because they were really pretty big. Like, I could fit in those cages, obviously. Yeah. Even when I was walking over there, I had that sense of, I do not want to get face to face with one of these.
No. That is definitely one of those. I'm done. Goodbye.
I've never been face to face with a wolf, and I remember the first time I came face to face with a coyote is when I decided I never wanted to be face to face with a wolf, because, you know, growing up, I hear from my hunting father and uncles and all this stuff, you know, about, oh, coyotes aren't that big compared to wolves and all that stuff. And then I see that coyote, I'm like, damn, wolves would be big.
Yeah.
Because that coyote was like, he was big enough that I'm like, okay, dude, I'm going to go this way. You please go that way.
My cup is over here and I need to move it because.
Do you need a
bad spot? No, I've got a coaster. A Paladin coaster. I just have to reach. I won't smack the ever-living crap out of the camera again.
So I do not have a topic for tomorrow.
You should come up with one.
I was going to ask if you had any ideas.
I do.
Okay.
We should talk about the plane. Is that helpful?
See what I have to deal with.
Well, we had talked about the possibility of talking more about the that mining town, but I think that was on a stream that we're like, yeah, we should do more of this, and then we weren't going to be streaming because of the con, but I don't remember for sure. Am I just making that up, or you know what I mean?
I mean, I don't think we were going to talk about it so soon since we just created that town on stream. That was fun. No, the one thing I remember talking about was if we get enough of you guys on crowd forging, we'll just switch over to talking about the storm.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking.
We were talking about we were working on the mining town when we were talking about that. Is probably why. So on Sundays we're doing crowd forging for anyone that doesn't know, and at the same time from 11 to 1 or whenever or whatever. We'll as soon as we have 5 or 6 people that are all crowd forging, we'll switch right over to the moving storm. That's going to be fun. It has a whole ecosystem of its own in there. There's a whole different thing going on in there. Game wise, when we go to work on that, the way I've described it is it's going to be a big dungeon that's moving around.
Yeah.
It's not a dungeon under the ground, obviously, but it's like a dungeon environment. It'll be fun. I'm almost done with my coffee, is why I'm jabbering. So
I am
Ooh, I'm going to a Ren Fair tomorrow, says Rockby.
ooh,
That's
fun.
fun. You're currently what?
That's what I want to do now.
Go to a Ren Fair?
Well, yes, but we should talk about events again. We only did it one time. But
Events?
like events on the plane and off the plane, yearly celebrations, that sort of stuff.
Okay. Yeah, because we have some. Obviously, this is Halloween month. Happy Halloween month, everybody. Sorry, I don't have the layout ready. Been kind of busy the last few weeks. Uh, but yeah, so like one of the things we've been writing about here at the start of the month for our patrons is Prey Harvest, which is the first 3 weeks of the month of October or October for us. And then the last week is Prey Harvest In, which is like a week long Halloween. So I think that's what you're talking about. We haven't done that on stream before, have we?
We talked about festivals.
We talked about festivals for like after weather and stuff like that. I do remember that.
Yeah, but we haven't talked about anything. We only did it once, and we didn't. I don't feel like we fully covered the conversation. I would love to do it again.
Yeah, I mean that's a good point. We've talked about it as like at least twice. We talked about those things as they relate to something specific, like a town or a weather event. I know we talked about after acid rainstorm. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, that could be cool, Dawn, says Ghosty.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, so that's a really we I guess we have 3 events that I know of for sure. We're adding the Prey Harvest / Prey Harvest In for October. We've got the after acid rain weather festivals, feasts that occur, right? And then the other one we're adding, one of the stories this month is the Wellview Rebellion, which was like a workers' armed rebellion years ago. That's all we really have up to. So
Yeah, so that
could be a whole thing right there. Is coming up with ideas for that.
so let's do that.
I like it. So tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time in the U.S. We'll be on again, and we will be talking about events, cultural events.
Yes.
Rockfan is crowdforging right now. We need a holiday for the darkest day of the year, like winter solstice. Let me make a note here. Don't start though. We're painting.
I'm okay with starting though. Actually, you need to go do the thing so we can.
Yeah, that's the thing is I got to run across town.
Well, we could when you get back.
Do 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 do. Burr, burr, burr.
Why do you do this to me every freaking stream? That shit stuck in my.
I remember when we first started streaming and you would whistle or hum something and I'd be like, quit, you're going to get us in trouble. And then I actually looked up on the legal of it. No, as long as you're performing it, you can do whatever.
I wouldn't necessarily qualify that as me performing it.
Well, I felt kind of silly because I'd already been watching bands on Twitch and stuff. So I'm like, why did I ever think that was going to be a problem? I used to perform in bars and it's the same thing. It's the same legal reason you can do that. You're performing it, you can do it.
I don't have my normal brick red over here, so I'm mixing that red. Or some black, I mean. I have a couple of like odd little stones over here that I like making things look like brick. I don't know where I get the brick obsession with. Don't know. The guy sitting over there typing.
Um,
And I don't need this to be a really strong color anyway. So I'm not going super thick on my layer at all. I'm going to add a hint of red. So we have had some success on the puppy front. He is now relaxing while we're streaming.
I didn't even start the TV for him, did you?
No. So he's not like, loving it. He's not hanging out, but he's not trying to be put in a room, sheltered with the TV on. So he's getting more and more used to and okay with the stream, which is a really nice thing. Hated how upset he would legitimately
Stand in the hallway and cry.
we'd even have, like if Ty was streaming, I would go sit in the bedroom with him. We'd literally babysit him in a different room. And now he hangs out on the couch. He goes and he's got different areas he can go to and seclude himself. He's got Cora's room, which Cora has like this Spider-Man blanket that he loves laying on. So he'll go chill on that. He'll go sit in the bed. He'll go lay on the couch, and he just kind of wanders. Just a definite, really nice. Face is almost done.
Checking my button still works before I leave. There was another piece of Plains news I forgot. I think we mentioned it to subscribers a little bit ago, but we have the stickers in for the packets. We need to finish the campfire stories, and I have to keep them short. I have a problem with that. I admit it. Maybe you need to write 2 of them, and I'll write 1 of them. That way I only have to keep 1 of them short.
Or how about you just keep it short?
It's part of my problem is this time of year. Like every newsletter for subscribers, we have a campfire story in it, and the campfire story in this newsletter is
how many pages?
It's too many, I admit. But
no, go ahead, say it out loud. Say it out loud.
I think it's 8 or 8.5 pages long.
I think he knows it's 8.5 pages long.
I will get it shorter. No, I mean, I won't get that one shorter. I mean, I will shorten up after this month is over. Anyway.
Whereas when I write one, we're lucky if it's a page.
Well, I forgot where I was going with that.
I did too, because I'm too busy laughing at 8.5 pages.
Oh, crap. I feel so silly. Yeah, you got me distracted on I can't seem to get myself under control. Oh, we were talking about the packets. So yeah, we've got I think we know what the stories are. We just need to get them down on paper and then produce them, which we're producing those here, and we're producing the postcards here. The postcards, I think I already have notes on those. Those should be fun. I'm thinking more and more. I know you're going to say yes, so I'm just going to say this now. I think I'm going to do, so I recently wrote, I feel like I'm giving up newsletter information here, but not like I'm. So recently I finished another campfire story it's pretty long too. It's going to be in the short story book, I think. And thinking we're going to give it as bonus content to subscribers this month. So in December or January, writes it. It's a fun one. It's about Hopper Jacks. Trying to remember why I was writing. I think I just had the idea and sat down and started writing it. What else? We changed our subscriptions. So after talking with our subscribers to make sure they were okay with it, we've switched over to slightly different rewards so that now we're kind of focused on whatever we're working on. Like right now, we're working on the short stories, even though we're testing out or researching, I should say, possible tabletop game systems. We're working on the short stories, so that's the content that we'll give away to subscribers right now. And then we move on more to the game material. We have like a section. So you get this or you get this, and then the or for the game side would be kind of like what we have been doing, right? The dossiers, except probably with stats and stuff.
Golden would like to know how the Golden Ghosty story is coming.
I have an outline for it so far. I haven't started punching it to paper yet. It's just the outline.
And just so you know, his process, basically, once the outline is done, he's like, okay, the outline is all done. Okay, I'm going to start on this. It's done. Once he's got the outline down.
It's not the intent, but that is what happens.
The actual writing of it is basically he sits and he goes and he's done.
Well, for anybody
there we go.
Huh?
I said, oop, there we go.
Yeah, that's pretty.
So that is the base. Obviously, this is where he sits, so I'm not really concerned about that. Now we've got a couple of different, we've got, stones, we've got bricks, we've got skulls, we've got lots of stuff happening on there. This little thing only sits on there one way. For some reason, I can't orientate it that way. There we go. So, face looks good. And I'll, like I always do, I like to go around the outside edge with black, but I've learned, don't do that yet. So, I think it's time to start actually painting him again. Yeah.
Ghosty says, I'm definitely looking. Yes, it is coming out this month. I didn't see that part of your previous statement. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what you come up with. That looks awesome, Dawn, by the way.
Thank you. I am going to step away for 2 seconds.
So what Dawn was talking about with my process, it's not my intention, but that is usually what happens. Like instantly or the very next day after the outline is done, I start pounding away at it. And I really don't mean to do that. My intention is to wait at least a day after I do the outline, because it gives you time to think and maybe flourish things a little more or something like that. But I usually get excited about whatever the work is and I get on it. But with Ghosty's story and Gareth's story, I'm making myself wait a minute, because the newsletter, and just so you know, the newsletter, all that I have left on there is advertising in the excerpt from the Longshore Courier. That's all that's left, and then getting it all formatted. So in the next day or two, that should be out. But yeah, Dawn's right. Usually it's like, okay, I finished it, and I might walk away for 15 minutes or something like that, and then I'm going, all right, well, this is on my mind, so I'm just going to sit down and do it. The funny thing I was going to mention is, for anybody that likes to write, whenever I was younger, the whole, you should outline your work or whatever, like your teachers probably told you in school. Oh, I'm not going to mess with that. And I'd just sit down and I'd start pounding away with what was in my head. But I've learned two things as I've gotten older and sort of matured in my writing. One is, when you're going to write something long, the outline helps because you'll forget things, right? And two, you get it written faster. There's a lot less of this kind of stuff, whenever you're going to work on something. There's a lot less sit back trying to figure out what you're going to do next, because you've already mapped it out for yourself. So I'm going to be like your old English teacher and tell you should outline. And that, that reminds me too. I think we've announced once before on a stream that we are going to start looking at other people's writing for the plane now. For anybody that's interested, depending on what you're writing, there'll be maybe a slightly different contract that we have with you, but you'll also get a word count. I don't know what our word count's going to be. I need to look up whatever the current nationwide word count cost is. But if you're interested in it, just make sure you talk to me first to make sure that we're on the same page. And I want people to do a bunch of work that doesn't go where they want it to go. Use me.
Okay, so basically, I know he looks like a hot mess right now, but that's fine. Basically, if you look, he's got tentacles that are coming up and then turning into ooze. So my idea is that I'm going to make the tentacles kind of purplish, mauvish kind of colors. I'm being vague on purpose because I'm being vague with what colors they're turning in. I've got a couple of purples and mauves and see how it goes. That's my intention. So, anyway.
Ghosty says, see, I'm too impatient. I always sit down and I'm like, okay, I'll write an outline. Then I just start writing the whole story and then I get confused on what happened to the outline. Yeah, no, I completely relate to that. I've only started making myself do an outline with every story in the last, I don't know, 5 years, something like that. But I can see the advantages of doing it now. I think I am going to run off and leave you now.
Put on music because
I can try. Sometimes that works.
I have gotten very accustomed to you speaking now on this one, and I really just don't have anything else.
You better find some stuff to say.
Look, guys, I'm using a paintbrush, and the paint is going on the model where I want it.
Oh, please. Rockfan wants to hear Queen. Well, the problem is we will we'll be like, you won't hear us anymore on YouTube. The music is a task that eventually we're probably just gonna have to do.
I mean, it's like really easy to talk about what I'm doing technically and stuff like that, but when I'm at the stage where I'm just slapping paint on shit,
Rockfan says we need some Queen jams. Oh yes. I wish we could do that.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That would be probably a pretty expensive. Sure.
We could, well, back to your point though, you could just sing it, right? And it'd be fine.
Queen?
Yes.
Okay. I sang in bands, but I can't sing that. You want the Halloween one that does the orcs thing every once in a while? Is that what you want?
It's fine. I
don't know what you want me to do right now.
No, I know. It's just that techno beat. It's just not my. It's not the mood I'm in. You know what I mean? Like when I'm painting, that I'm not looking for techno vibe.
Okay, this is going to be interesting.
Is it? Do you actually know what that word?
You know what it means. Thank you for asking.
So one of the ways that I'm planning on kind of blending it into, like this strip right here, I want to be green. So I'm just going to kind of lightly bring it up and kind of let it feather off. See, look, technical stuff I can talk about, but I don't know. That's what I'm going to be doing, guys. That was loud.
I mean, told you that we're doing this on the fly.
Oh, no, that's fine. It just surprised me.
Classical rock fan says, yeah, so the interesting thing is I was just thinking about that this morning. I believe there are some, although I don't know that there's a collection of just turn this on here sort of thing, but certainly there is public domain classical music.
I mean, this one's not that bad, really. It's some of them are like, no, nope, can't paint to that.
Okay.
This one's fun.
So with that, I'm going to step away, drive downtown, and be back probably 15 or 20 minutes. Okay?
He says downtown, but I mean, it's like legitimately our town is tiny, so downtown.
Yeah, we've only got like
it's a
16,000 people in our town or something.
It's 5 minutes to get downtown and 5 minutes to get back if you hit every red light.
Mm-hmm. I will see you guys in a little bit. Dawn, I'll be back.
Did you, or you just, oh, you did, okay. I looked up at the screen instead of trying to make sure he turned off his camera. I mean, not that you guys don't like staring at a green screen with nothing on it, but, you know, hey. Yeah, I'm kind of happy with the magenta purple-ish look. And I will try to remember to look up at the monitor every now and again to see what's next. Rockman's timing you. I know you couldn't hear him, but he went, oh, shit. Keep in mind, he actually has to get the old PCs out of the garage, put them in the car, and get in the car, start the car. All of these things at about 20 minutes. Not that bad. A fun mod. So, feel free to ask any questions. It's fine. Yeah. Oh. Rockfan, if you could make him go faster, that would be amazing. Good luck with that. Where the hell am I? No, they've got a pickup scheduled. There goes the pitter patter. So we do have a convention, one more this year, and it is in December. That's pretty far off as far as I'm concerned. I'm like, I feel like I have all the time in the world. So what I'm desperately trying to avoid is the thought of I have all the time in the world, so that I can actually get done the things that I need to get done for it. It's in city area. Technically, I think it's called Independence, Missouri. So Ghosty actually, I actually have one of them here. Hold on a second. By the way. So this is the bat. So again, I want to say basic rock, but I'm saying that very, very loosely because I love this. It's just a very simple rock bass and it's gorgeous. But this is the bat itself. This is the attack, I think, or swing or something like that, because like this arm is coming out and swinging. Really, really super happy with this model. I printed the wrong version. I wanted the armored version, but I don't really care. This thing is awesome. What I was kind of... All right, well, I hope I see you again, Bald GM. What I was kind of disappointed was I printed off the, what is he? I think he's the commander. It's one of the little guys. And he was much smaller than I was expecting. Like, I knew he was, 25 mil base size. And so I was not expecting him to be. It almost seems like he's in 28 mil scale rather than 32. Yeah, like I said, I wasn't real careful, Golden, whenever I dropped my paintbrush. When I grabbed the file, I didn't really think about the fact that he does that a lot. He'll have an armored and an unarmored version. I really wanted the armored version because that armor is like, it's a lot like his. God damn it! Hold on, I gotta get Famine over here. He's a little out of reach. The armor is a lot like Famine's armor, where it's these big giant plates. So the plate sits like he's got 3 plates that go back like this, and then he's got, a helm that comes out like this does. So I really loved painting this armor. So I really wanted to paint an armored one. And I'm absolutely, stand up, Famine. I'm absolutely going to print him again, but like his face looks awesome. I love his mouth. In the armored version, you can see his ears, but you can't see the top of his head. You just see that mouth out off of a plate coming out, and it's really well done. I'm very, very happy with it. Yeah, for the commander guy, he just seems too small to me. I wish I had thought about it. I'd have brought him up, but I think all of them are too small for me. I think they don't. Well, they're definitely not intimidating. And I really want to print the drummer. He looks really, really good, and I love the sash coming around holding the drums on. So that one I'm very much looking forward to painting. And then the bat. So I think I'm just going to do the armored and unarmored version, paint of both. Add that to my to-do list. But it's really nice to have, like, this last con that we just finished, I painted a bust. And I had the painted version sitting right next to a not painted version, so people can see, what it could look like. And hopefully inspire them to paint their own, and that was really fun. So I'd like to be able to do that again for Midwest Game Fest, of have a few different. This song is freaking me out and making me want to turn around. No, there's nothing. Don't let them see you. I want to have a few different versions of models where I've got, like the armored and not armored painted, and then an unpainted one as well. And it's always nice to be able to put models like that out on the table, because it's really easy, because it's just the base and the model, no assembly, so people can actually see what it looks like, Like Tiamat, I don't even know how I would print Tiamat and sell them at a convention. Print a baby one all solid. I tend to print my minis around 40 mil. Since I don't play games with them, I can mess. Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that when I'm painting, like, this is actual size. This is the model, just grabbed it, printed it, done. When I'm printing things for painting, just because, I want to paint it, and the bat model is actual size as well. Just grabbed it, threw it on the plate. When I'm printing to paint and for show and just to paint, I tend to up my scale so that you can see the details, and I can see the details to paint it and all that. And I have fun with that. But when I'm painting something, especially for somebody else, it's usually I have to make sure it's the right size for them, because they are going to play with it. Trying to get around the eyeballs. Yeah, I don't know if you were on yet, Ghosty, when I was talking about Crippled God Foundry, because that's the wave that I'm like. I want to paint everything from Lord of the Print, and then I looked at what they released what they gave us as an old release, and it's all Necro stuff. I'm like, I want to paint all of this first. My painting, I'm never gonna get to paint everything. Just not gonna happen. It's too much I want to paint. Even painting 2 days a week, I barely get to paint what I want to paint. I guess that's a good problem to have, right? Sorry, I just on the bat creature, I think he's 100 mil, which is not what he has it listed at. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's so it's 100 mil base. This is 80 right here, so that's 100. But I think he had it listed like on his My Mini Factory page, and this happens occasionally. You got a model like that actually, from me, where he had it listed at like, this is, 75 mil, and then you go to throw it on the build plate and it's actually 100 mil or something like that. So I've kind of learned, be careful when I'm listing things. I can't look at his description. I have to throw it on the build plate and see what it is. But I think he had that one. If I'm remembering right, he had it marked as it should have been a 50 mil or 75 mil, but it is not. It's 100, which is easy to size. His stuff sizes really, really well. It's super easy. It's change a couple of numbers and you're done. Not really an issue. It's just an issue of I have to be careful when I'm making my listings for Etsy. Leave that bubble green. I do have a green shade over here that I'll be going over all the stuff that I am leaving green. I've got a green shade I'll take over it to. Sorry, I'm reading your message, Ghosty. Yeah, I just printed out his, it's a Quetzalcoatl is what it is. I'm doing this in my head because it's all a twisted flying serpent, right? I just finished printing it out yesterday. And what I'm really enjoying his sculpts. What I really like is it's a snake head, right? But it's the snake head that it's got its mouth open, but the skull is split like this. So he's got teeth here and here. I'm like, oh my god, that's so much fun. I need to paint that too. I need to paint the world, damn it. Legitimately so many things to paint that even if I painted every day for 8 hours, I still couldn't paint everything that I want to paint. Jumping around on this model so much. I get more paint on my paintbrush and then I forget where I was working. Yeah, this month is honestly, I look forward to September and October's releases from all of our modelers because they all get into the Halloween themes and everything else. Mini Monster Mayhem just released his files for this month, and the name of the release is WTF Is That? I'm like, accurate. So yeah, another one. I need to paint everything that's on that release. It's just very odd shaped monsters. And just fun. It's just fun. I know I'm doing a really bad job at reading out loud of what you guys are saying. I'm sorry. I've never been good at that. Slap some paint on. About to read what Nightbot's. I am glad though that Ty got the switch happened. So now like all of the comments and everything are shown on the screen at least. So Rock Fan's not completely lost. I'm just answering random shit. It's so weird to hear the phone ringing in the music. I wasn't expecting the scream. Kind of deciding as I go what's going to be left green and what's going to be painted. Some of it I might just give a tone of the purple. But I think like the blending works really well because like you can see it's coming into purple and then I've got it green and then it goes back into purple down here. Working fairly well. But I am doing, I know you guys can't see my palette, but basically I have this one and this one side by side. And I'm kind of grabbing both colors because the purple's too bright and the red's too red. Mauve. Blending them on the palette and on my paper towel. Oop. Well. So that's the crushed sore, and then that's the alien purple. So I'm just kind of grabbing back and forth between the two, and then doing that, and then painting. Okay. That's what I'm saying, like, I was not expecting the phone ring on there. It was super weird. No, Rock Fan, you are not invisible, thank God. I mean, it was okay when... It's okay when Ty's here, because he reads out loud what you guys say. And he says, you know, Rock Fan said this, and I just answer what you guys ask or say or react to the fact that Golden was... Welcome back, Bald GM. You know, Golden was reaching for his phone because the music was ringing. I really do like this resin. I have a red one, this green one, and a smoky black that all work really well. The blue, I like how it works. It looks good when I print in it, but doesn't always print like crystal clear blue. It's weird. Like sometimes it has a purple tone to it and sometimes it has a blue tone to it. I've changed no settings. Windows being attacked by a bug. I am only now noticing the group chat. That's funny, Rock Fan. Okay, so I have just been randomly talking and you have no idea what I've been laughing at. I apologize. I really have to work on my painting posture. If I remember correctly, the Bald GM has pristine painting posture. And mine is... My back hurts. I used to lower my chair to put the desktop higher up and then I would paint better. But these were just old. Very good posture for painting, Bald GM. You sit up and you hold your model and you paint like this. And I'm like, I can't imagine that anything is sore when you're done painting. Very good posture. And I've seen it in other people too. I see it a lot less in... I don't see it very often, but I do see it where people sit very well. I mean, I have bad posture in the first place, so... As I paint more detail, I start to lean into my painting. Okay, cut the time off, Rock Fan. He's back.
Any more pros?
As he throws his phone down on the tabletop that I'm painting on. Get around these eyeballs. They're all gone now?
They are all gone, man.
It makes me happy.
Yeah, me too. One last thing.
Yep.
Was it 20 minutes? It seemed shorter.
I didn't actually look at the time, and Rockfan has to run errands real quick.
That is with a 5-minute buffer. Proud of you. You know what? I'm proud of them. I think they've taken like a page out of the book of all of the like grocery pickup and stuff like that. I didn't have to leave the car. I assumed I was gonna pull up in a parking lot, have to go get a cart, put the machines on a cart, bring the cart over to them or something like that. We just drove through. I was in a line of cars and opened up the back. They pulled the machines out.
That's the way to do it, man.
Yeah, it was slick.
Having to have a whole bunch of people getting out and doing that, all that, that's going to slow them down. Having just to where, pull up, I'll grab it, you go. That's the way to go.
Yeah. Yeah, it was good. It was quick.
I was not so quick the last time when I had to go over to the Goodwill to do a drop-off. Because they have a new location, right? Well, when you pull up, it's like, it has signs, do not enter here. And then it's got parking spaces. So it's like, don't go in here, you got to go around this way. And then it's got all these parking spaces right here. I'm like, okay, I guess I park. And so I pulled over and I parked. And then I started to walk up to the door and it says, all, visitors must enter through the front. I'm like, well, shit. Like, then why am I parking over here? Because it has a big sign that says drop off. So then I'm start to walk around to go to the front of the building, and I stepped on the little ta-ching thing, like when you drive up to a gas station.
Like the old full service.
Yeah. And then I stepped on it, and I kind of looked down, and I'm like, okay. And then a guy comes out, and he goes, can I help you? I'm like, was I supposed to drive over that? And he goes, yeah. I'm like, but parking. Because that's for us. I'm like, I feel like an idiot. He just laughed. He goes, you don't have to move. I'll just bring the car over there to you. I'm like, okay. So now I know. You just drive up.
Uh-huh. Bald GM says, oh, that I have to train myself as I started to have neck and back problems 25 years ago. So I had to decide between learning a good posture or having neck and back pains the rest of my life. I was 25 at the moment, so still young enough to do something about it. Well, that's good. If you were changing your habits then. I was just adding more bad habits at 25, I think. And Rockfan's going to be right back.
Yeah, already got arthritis in my neck.
Mine is my hands. As a software developer for 20 years, I don't think that's really a surprise. I didn't need glasses until I'd been developing software for 10 years.
When remember when I got in that car accident with the van? When I got rear-ended real bad? Not this van, but the other van. The first van we had. I had to go get x-rays because we were rear-ended pretty badly. Me and Cora were in the car. And it so I had to go get x-rays and everything, and that was, oh shit, Cora was in elementary school, so it was a long time ago. But anyway, so I got x-rays, and they were like, yeah, you have arthritis starting in your neck. I'm like, cool, that's awesome. I didn't change anything.
Right.
I just kept doing what I was doing.
Yeah. I was in late 30s, early 40s before I started doing things like, I shouldn't do that anymore. Well, that's not entirely true. When we had Isabella, I did change quite a few things.
Yeah.
So I did think of something about the plane that I forgot to mention earlier in my spewing of all kinds of things. It seems like forever since we've been on with everybody.
Yeah.
I think I've mentioned this before. It may have only been to patrons. Anyway, we've been researching tabletop game systems. Right now, we're looking really hard at the Fate core system. So once I learn that, we're going to actually test Fate with the plane. It's going to be a simple test. Like, we won't have our classes, our careers, adventuring careers in there yet, but we just want to see how it feels, just because they've got the things like you can use a sword or you can use a gun, so we can just kind of use those for right now to see how the game works out. And it would be pretty neat since they have the system toolkit on how you hack the system and stuff like that. So hopefully it works out. If not, then we'll move on. But the point is, we're going to test it the next month or two. We're going to test it on stream. So that should be fun. I think we're going to do, and this is why I know I've said this on stream, because I think I mentioned this recently, that we'll probably play a game just us first so that we all kind of understand how the game is working, and we can look up rules and stuff then. Then from the second game on to the end of the test, we'll do it on stream.
Yeah, which will be an adjustment as well, because, you know, we fit quite well like this, just me and him, but we won't be playing with just me and him.
I think we're going to try to actually set up in the game room.
Yeah.
Which means we've got cleanup to do and running wires and computers and
yeah, that's going to be the biggest one, is doing the computer stuff, because we're already working on cleanup, getting things reorganized and things like that.
My biggest concern with going downstairs is connection.
Yeah, that's my biggest concern. So what we'll probably end up doing is a test stream.
Yes.
Where we just see what's our connection like down there. And then we'll... Okay, yeah, that worked, so now we can actually do it, too.
But it should work out, I think.
I think it should.
It's just going to be some effort getting us there.
Oh, I missed an eyeball.
Hiding.
I think I'm going to leave a lot of the lower stuff, the translucent, like down here, because this is like very splatter stuff. Having fun picking as I'm going what's green and what's purple. That is a very cool column.
What's that over there?
So going up in the center, painting back column of of doom. What time is it? I know, like, since we switched, that's something that we don't really have to worry about anymore, and I kind of forget that.
It's 12:43.
I don't want to ignore the time and just paint for the entire day, because I got stuff to do. I know we've been talking about, our son's almost done in the army. Well, he's actually, like, officially done, and he will be home on Sunday.
Sunday at midnight.
Yeah.
So, kind of Sunday. By the time we get home, it'll be Monday.
But we need to, and also, like I mentioned earlier, we've got some plumbing issues. I don't think we've ever not had plumbing issues in this house. It's just, I had to apologize to the plumber when he was here, because I'm like, look, I know you're talking and everything you're saying makes perfect sense, and thank you so much, but I'm rolling my eyes because I'm so tired of the plumbing in this house. But anyway.
So it's not that we've always had plumbing issues, it's that we've had several, and they're always big.
They're always big.
We weren't here a year yet, and we had to replace our main line out.
1 month. We were here for 1 month, and we had to replace the entire main line from the end of the house to the city.
It sucked, and it was expensive.
And we just now getting grass back in that spot. Anyway.
Ghosty says, congrats to him. Yeah, we'll let him know. Thank you. It's been a road.
It's been a long one. Short, but not at all.
Not.
But anyway, so no, we part of it is, though, that where our son's room is where they're gonna have to literally go in and cut a section of pipe out.
Well, maybe. We'll see.
We know that's what's gonna end up. But regardless, we've got to move a bunch of furniture in his room to be able to access that spot. And so it was like, he's gonna come home, and we're gonna say, cool, get out of your room.
Yeah, pretty much that day.
Hey, I know it would be really awesome to sleep in. Don't do that. Get out.
It'll be all right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, because they're not coming super early in the morning in the first thing. Which they would, because I've got no kitchen abilities at the moment.
While he's been in the army, he's had to sleep on linoleum floors and hallways and shit like that. So I think he'll be all right. Not his whole career. That isn't what I mean. Just
no.
That's happened.
Yeah. It was when he got to his station in Washington, they didn't have a room for him for like 2 months. He was sleeping in the barracks with other people in their rooms, like with just a sleeping bag on the floor between, in this guy's room or that guy's room. Because they didn't have, and he wasn't the only one. They just didn't have it set up for the new arrivals. That was fun.
So yeah, it should be fine. I'll be glad to get this problem fixed. He'll be all right.
It sucks because, like, the plumbing was manageable. It wasn't horrible, and it was like, okay, we need to get a plumber in, and I'm like, yeah, this is getting worse. We really need to get a plumber in. So I called them and scheduled, and they were here like right away. Like the next day they came in. But I waited too long because, like, I got him in, and he started trying to clean it out, and now the water won't drain at all.
Yeah. I guess you explained it just got worse recently.
We thought it was slow drain, and apparently it was no drain.
Yeah, now it is. Oh well, that's life.
Yeah. Joys of owning a home.
I still like it better than renting.
My eyes are very big, but you can't see them because my glasses. Yes, very much so. Just the freedom to paint a room if I decide it looks bad. Freedom is nice.
Yes. Sorry, I'm trying to make notes so that I don't miss things at the end of the stream. How long do you have, you think?
I don't know.
I mean, I'm not trying to rush you. I'm just curious.
This seems like one of those models that I could spend the next 6 hours on and not feel done because there's so much that I can do.
Uh-huh.
While I could have just printed it in green, put a little bit of green shading in it, and been done as well.
I like what you're doing with the eyes. And the purple, though, it doesn't look the same on the screen. Unfortunately.
I think it looks pretty good on screen.
Yeah.
But it definitely, there's a lot of different tones happening that we're just not seeing on screen that I can see here. But it's okay. Eventually we'll have a good camera that can catch it all.
Yeah. I think probably this Nikon would catch it better. I just need to finish playing with it to get it to work.
I don't really, I mean, I like how the Nikon looks, but in the same token, I don't like how it's so static where it is what it is, and that's it. There's no adjustments during stream.
Oh, no, definitely not. Well, I shouldn't say that. As far as I know, not. They won't be simple. It won't be just like raise and lower the exposure. Trying to make notes for when we are done. So that I'm not finishing off the stream going, oh, I meant to tell everybody.
No, I just...
Halloween music is supposed to be.
So the really funny thing, or really fun thing is, because I've left this green and where he sits green, I can get it to. I don't think it'll show up, but we've tried to show it off before and it doesn't show up. I don't know why I can't ever seem to get him to line up there. Let's see if it'll show. It might have to have you dim the lights. See.
Oh, you mean?
Because it's green, translucent, it doesn't make it all the way up to the eyeball. That would be really cool.
It still looks pretty cool. At night, you know you'd see it go up further, probably.
Yeah. But that's the point of leaving. Let me not shine that in the camera. Oh. He turned the lights back on and I thought I was shining the light in the camera. Anyway. So yeah, that's kind of the point of leaving certain things translucent, because then you get that glow that happens. So it makes it a lot of fun. Oh. So, I mean, realistically, yeah, I don't know. Because it's like every time I turn it and look, I've got another spot that I need to paint. But again, it's something that I feel like it could have no paint and still look awesome.
Yeah. Ghosty says, gotta head out. It was fun one. I'll hopefully see y'all tomorrow. Yeah, come hang out in CrowdForge. Thanks for hanging out.
But then like what you were saying of, you know, we've got a lot of stuff to get done too. I may have to just call it
Tomorrow, you mean, or right now?
today. Well, this
Oh.
weekend we've got a lot to get done,
Yeah,
so I may
we
have
do.
to call it and then we'll finish it.
But just, a couple of minutes isn't going to make a difference, so we'll call it too early.
No. I'm just talking right now because I know we're not like officially time wise done.
I'm also enjoying not having to worry about it as much as we did during the week.
Right? It's I feel like I can go a little over, or I can go a little, or a lot over.
Was it last stream or the stream before or something? I think we went over 3.5 hours, or right at 3.5 hours. That was nice.
But we were working, we were happy, and we finished.
Yeah.
What I was working on, so that's always. I mean, I know it's a long stream for some people to sit and watch, and I'm okay with people not being here the entire time. Just drop by, say hi, and fun regardless.
Watch me dance to Halloween club music. No. The burp thing.
I had support stuck in there.
I didn't leave it. You.
Some of these spots I want to be green, but I want to have some of that purple tone to it.
Uh-huh.
So slapping it on and smudging it off. Georgie's decided to eat her lunch. And I can hear her over there chomping. That one's. It was while you were gone, there was some sort of bug smacking against the glass.
Huh. I mean, it's not warm out there. Whatever.
No, that's why
bug it is a big hardy bug. Then
I put my coat on because it's chilly.
Yeah. We're not running our heat yet, and I think it dropped to like 64 last night in the house.
I am definitely one of those people that avoid turning the heat on for the first time as long as I possibly can.
Right.
But, God forbid it hits 65 degrees, because then I'm like, can we turn the air on? Most of you guys know I have a thing about bugs, so it hitting that glass behind me is kind of...
It's not going to get in.
Or it already is in. If I could just see it. Nope, it's inside.
Is it?
Yep. One of those stink bugs, too.
Oh, those things are bad this year.
Yeah, it's like legitimately right there on that window.
You're telling me to get it right now,
I am telling you to get it right now, because I'm not going to be able to sit here for very much longer knowing it's over there. If it's over there, it can get me. That's just mean. How do you know?
Best case scenario is I'm about to stink this room up.
Get him? I can actually calm down now. After he walks by me.
No stink bugs were harmed in the course of this stream.
The last thing we want to do is smash a stink bug. But I legitimately can't sit here knowing that it's inside and it can get me.
All I think is I'll open up.
You may not think that he's going to do anything, but he definitely was planning on eating my face.
Okay. Face eating stink bugs.
They do.
It seems all Halloween music.
Just seems like it also randomly ends. It's like YouTube going, "Hey, you're still watching? No? Okay, cool. I'll turn it off."
No, they're like I said, I think their stream tunes is kind of new in that they have relatively small libraries for these sections.
I know, it's just but it ends so abruptly. It doesn't even feel like it ended a song. It just
They're adding new ones like Pets. One of their music groups is called Pets. Only on their Spotify. I'm only looking at the.
I'm using the toxic boil now.
Showing up a little bit better at that angle that you're at now.
Well, I'm also adding brighter purple.
Oh, I see. Yeah, because earlier it looked dark, but I, colorblind. I didn't really recognize it as purple on the screen, but I did in front of you.
Yeah, well, I mean, like I said, I'm using this crushed stone or crushed sore and alien purple and mixing them. And the crushed sore is a very mauve red kind of tone versus just the alien purple is purple.
Yeah.
So it's bringing it more into the red family with that crushed sore. And I'm using the toxic oils to highlight, which I think what I'm going to do is grab dry brush instead.
So do you want me to put more on? More music on? So looking at the new ones, there's Chip Tune. I think it's going to be probably the old video game sounding music or something, maybe. Latin, rock.
Oh, you said that, and I'm thinking, like the language of Latin, and
No,
it's
no. Latin music.
Latin music.
Uh-huh.
I don't know, pick one. I don't really care. I'm good with experiment.
Okay.
I thought there were hairs coming out of the brush, and they're not. They're just going to explode, and we're all going to run away screaming.
Hopefully that's not too loud for everybody. Yeah, leaving those green up there above the purple is really cool looking.
And then I'm just where they join. I'm kind of dry brushing this toxic oil so that it just kind of blends. But apparently I put my toxic boil right on where black on my palette was. I'm trying to scoop it away from the black. Luxury of wearing gloves while you're painting. I mean, I'd do it anyway. At least this way.
Because it would be.
I admitted it. I said I'd do it anyway. Sometimes it's hard to estimate, well, how much longer do you have on this? Well, I don't know. I've never painted it, and I really have a very loose idea of what I'm going to do in the first place. So I don't know, because if what I'm doing doesn't work, I have to keep going until it does. And other times I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm planning, and it works very quickly, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I'm done. I mean, that's really what it boils down to for me when I'm painting. Keep going until I'm happy with it, or frustrated and I put it away and I'll work on it later. I never really have a good answer of, unless I'm painting something that somebody's like, this is what I want. I'm like, cool. Now how long that'll take me? It usually takes longer than what I think, but we're all used to it. Thunderman?
I can't hear it. I spent too many years in bands now. I gotta crank it up from here. But it seemed like it was maybe a little bit loud.
I'm thinking it's singing about Thunderman, which makes me think of
Nightman.
And that song's actually Dayman.
Dayman, I'm sorry.
But he's the fighter of
Nightman. Do you know that Gareth's stream has points for Danny DeVito when they're
No.
gotta pay the troll toll if you want to get in that boy's soul?
Oh God, no. It's so bad.
I've done it twice. I was wondering if you noticed or not.
No, that's so bad.
It's worth the points. Like 1,000 points or something. I don't know.
Thunderman, Thunderly Mental.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the. Well, the name is Mental.
Thunderman went mental.
I mean, I can hear you singing, but I don't hear well enough to hear what he's saying. I don't want to blast us.
No, don't turn that up. I don't want to hear it better.
New song.
Yeah, I think this is going to be one that I'm going to finish up fairly quickly tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because I haven't really done the eyes yet. Haven't put the green on that I want yet. Green shade.
And you want to do like a red in the eyes maybe or something too?
I don't know. I was thinking I was going to do a red, but I probably am going to use this mauve. Because if I go bright red, it's going to read Christmassy, and I don't want that.
The green and red.
Which is really kind of, it sucks, because green and red, they go really well together because they're opposite on the color wheel. But that's also why I picked the purple, is because purple is adjacent to red, which means it'll also pop off of the green as well. And I wanted it to be a contrast to each other. But it makes it to where I said toxic boil, but this is not toxic boil. This is orc blood. I apologize. It makes it to where that contrasts each other or against each other really well, you know? And it makes it pop, sort of thing. But so I don't know. I might do yellow. A really bright yellow is going to stand out against all these other colors. Just on the iris here, not anywhere else. All of these are going to stay the green. But I need to do I need to put the green shade over everything to give the green some depth as well. I still feel like I'm not quite done dry brushing. I just realized over here I haven't touched it.
So, well, you're clearly going to have some stuff to work on tomorrow.
Bye, GM.
Have to go. Have a great day, everybody. Till next time. Yeah, thanks for hanging out, Ball GM. So, are you thinking about doing that no face type model that you were showing earlier? If you finish this tomorrow,
I don't know.
Or does that guy need like a big base coat?
Well, I mean, I can base coat him today, but that I probably won't, just because. Well, I mean, I could. My concern with no face is it's gonna be a fairly simple paint job, so I don't think he'll take any time at all. But I have.
So you think you'd need like a third thing that wouldn't take much time, is what you're saying?
Yeah, basically. But what I have is a commission for some tombstones. And so I could have those out here, finish this guy, then get those guys done, then go to no face. You know what I mean? Like, I could actually work on multiple things and just have that be my plan. I also have a Dragonborn that I need to paint for commission, so there's a few different options I have. After we finish this guy, I could pick this piece up, sort of. Not really a fan. Yeah, because, like, I'm looking at it going, yep, I can do this, and I can do this. I mean, I definitely could spend a lot of time on this model, but I'm also very hungry.
Oh, we haven't eaten today. Oh, yes, we did.
No, we had a donut.
We had donuts.
That's all. So I don't think I'm actually going to be painting much longer, because the more I think about the fact there's food, less I want to say. And I am getting to a point where once I do this next step, I'm not going to be able to touch this model for. So I think that might be the best option for me to go ahead and put the green on where I want it. And then I can walk away from it at that. Because that green takes a while to dry.
Well, you want me to go through my stuff now?
Yes.
This sounds like you're getting close.
I think I am getting close to a good stopping point. Really what it was.
Well, first of all, happy Halloween month, everybody. It's the happiest time of the year. Don't let Christmas fool you. We spend all month long in October enjoying it. In fact, we've got to put up some more some outside decorations now that it's October.
Yeah, the first Halloween decorations went up in September.
Outside?
Uh-huh. I already have 2 pieces outside.
Oh, that's right, the big candle holder things. Yeah, maybe we should take a picture and drop that on Discord, huh? So, one thing I didn't mention earlier is that you guys know at 150 followers on Twitch, we will do another biggie giveaway. We don't know what it's going to be yet, because at 135 followers, we will do a poll for everybody to vote on what that biggie giveaway is going to be. We are at 134 right now, so one more Twitch follower.
Awesome.
Yeah, one more Twitch follower, and we'll get that poll together. Usually takes us like 3 or 4 days, and then we have it up. Yeah. So that's something that is looming in the least. I mentioned earlier, so I did the painting streams with the mobile streaming recently. in the next week-ish, I should do another stream where we're actually going to etch what we were painting earlier this week. So hopefully that's fun. I'll etch and maybe work on another design, maybe work on writing for the plane, one or the other. Probably get another design ready. Newsletter for subscribers on Patreon will be out in the next day or two. And tomorrow will be crowd forging. You do not have to be a subscriber to do that, obviously. You can just come on, and as long as you're understanding that if your stuff is cool, we'll use it. We'll put it in the plane. Tomorrow we'll be working on cultural events, holidays, and things like that. Mentioned that we are looking at Fate as a possible system to wrap the plane on. And just want to keep everybody in the know that once we get some more learning on that system in the next month, hopefully, we'll be streaming some games on the plane. And videos. I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but we talked with our patrons a little, and we're going to put some campfire stories. The audio, we're going to put it to some cool pictures and stuff and put them in videos in the next couple of months. I don't know how soon. That's really about how much time we can get together or whatever, right? But that is coming soon as well. I think I hit everything there. I wrote some stuff down this time. Instead of going, what else did I want to say?
Oh, thank you for the follow.
That will be 135, guys. So the next few days. Yeah, thank you for the follow. Long number. We will. You know what? It's one of those follows though that maybe I just need to refresh. We'll see. Thank you for the follow if you're really following. You are really following, so thank you for the follow. And yeah, we'll get the poll together with pictures of all the biggies that we might give away. And then whatever the results of that poll is, that's what we'll give away at 150 Twitch followers. That's always fun doing those big events. So, Ruby.
And what we'll do is we'll get that poll together and we'll have it available on, or we'll put a link in while we're streaming, and then we'll have that poll available for a few days for people to answer.
Yep.
Okay. Stop it. See what I mean? Like, I can legitimately just keep going and going and going on this model. Every single time I turn it, I see something else I want to highlight or bring out or anything like that.
Yeah, those colors are looking cool even on stream. Hi, Shadow Tool. Dawn is echoing just a little bit. Thank you. So we've switched over to OBS recently, and I don't think I have my sound filters quite tweaked in yet. So I'm sure Dawn's coming through on the back of my mic.
Just stop talking loudly.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I know. That ain't gonna happen.
You know what? I'll go ahead and add that to my announcements too, since Shadow Tools popped on here.
Yeah, I was talking about
one more con this year. Were you talking about it while I was gone?
Yeah.
So we've got one more con at the end of November, goes into the beginning of December. It is easily one of our favorite cons. It's Midwest Game Fest in Kansas City, and we're excited for that. Especially, we haven't had one since pre-pandemic.
Yeah.
So not an in-person event.
Way too long.
Love it, love it, love it, and getting excited to it. Thank you, Shadow Tool. Put up midwestgamefest.org is the the URL for that. So check that out, especially if you're within driving distance. It's a fun one.
Even if you're not, you should. Just joke.
Yeah. I bet you just told everybody from Los Angeles they should just fly in.
Yes.
Just fly in.
No, actually, the reason I was bringing it up is because I'm like, yeah, it's not until the 1st of December, which is like, hey, we've got loads of time. But I'm trying to mentally tell myself we have no time at all so that I can actually get done the things that we need to get done.
Yeah, because we're doing like the new coasters and all that kind of stuff that I need to get designed and tested and make sure they're going to work, but we want to have some new stuff. And
we also have the crafted coasters
Yep.
that I've been using a monster manual from D&D to make all the crafted coasters. But we recently had someone donate a player's handbook to us. So I'm going to be utilizing that
That's
as
new
well.
too. But the coasters are new for us. We didn't start doing the coasters until after the pandemic, right? So we've never even
I don't think
had
so,
coasters
yeah.
at Midwest Game Fest before. I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes too.
Yeah.
So Shadow Tool mentions that early bird event signups going live later today for
Yay,
VIG
perfect.
badge holders. Others can sign up for event November 1st.
See, that was perfect timing.
Yep. Yay! I'm excited. So much going on for the end of this year. And the plans that we have next year for the plane, I'm excited. I'm excited about next year, period, for the plane. We're getting so much content together now, it seems like, that we should be able to hit our goals for next summer.
Well, I was talking with Shadow Tool over the last couple of days because I've been having a lot of issues tech-wise with getting everything situated. And we were jabbering, and it's like, it's crazy that it's everything happening all at once at the end of the year. And Shadow was like, yeah, maybe I should redo this and have it in the spring. And I'm like, no, not redo, just as well.
As well as.
Yes. Because you guys don't have enough to do for Midwest. You should just do it 2 times a year.
Yeah, you lazy bums. Add some more events. I'm sure that would be a feat.
Because they do have the online version as well. That I forget. I think that one's in the spring. But I may be talking out of my...
Shadow 2 says, I'm starting to shake just thinking about another in-person event.
With excitement,
With
right?
excitement. Online is in March.
March. So, anywho,
I have a list and I still feel like I must have forgotten something. But the important thing, most immediate thing, is tomorrow we'll be back on at 11 a.m. Central Time. And we will be crowd forging while Dawn finishes this and probably works on 1 or 2 other paint jobs. We'll be crowd forging cultural events on the plane. So far we have the Rebellion, the Wellview Rebellion. We have, after acid rain storms, some towns will have festivals or feasts, that kind of thing, to celebrate getting through such a rough thing. And also to celebrate because they will clean up their town and stuff after. And then we have just being added this month for subscribers and stories. We're talking about Prey Harvest, which is the first 3 weeks of their October or October, and then Prey Harvest Inn, which is like a week-long Halloween. That's right up my alley. I would love to celebrate. Have people dressing up and enjoying Halloween for a week. That'd be wonderful. But that's it. So we're going to talk about adding new events with Crowd Forgers tomorrow.
Yeah.
I say that's it, but I've already got notes started from Rock Fan earlier.
Yeah. Yeah, I think what I'm gonna do is tomorrow I'll finish this guy up, and then I'll move on to the tombstones, and those should go fairly quickly. Then I'll move into the Dragonborn. Although if I get to the tombstones today, then I'll move over. I'll just go straight from this to the Dragonborn, which would probably be a little bit more interesting. And I'll have him base coded, so we'll just work on details with him. a weird song too.
I mean,
I'm reserving judgment. I haven't.
the popular stuff that we tried before was more electronic, so which is fine. It's just not really for us, right? So I like this better than.
I do too. It's just like there's a certain vibe I like to have when I'm painting, and that changes drastically for what I'm painting. It always matches what I'm painting. This doesn't match that. It matches better than some of the other oddities, shall we say.
Missed it, but Rock Fan is back.
Welcome back. Sort of, because now I'm kind of done.
Oh, wait. I misread that. This is from Okay Now, Be Right Back. Ah, they're not back. I'm a fool.
Yes.
Hopping around my windows seeing messages from long ago.
Huh. I recognize this song, and it's like they just made it digital. Okay. I'm stopping. I need to stop touching things. So, this is what we have so far. And tomorrow I will make his eyeballs look right, which basically is going to be a whole lot of line work on his eyes. And then I will deepen any spots that need more deepening with the green. And a couple more highlights with the purple, I think. And fixing a few spots that I can see. Like right here, I can see puddles happening.
Oh. Puddles and Ooze monsters seem to go together, though.
Yes, but what'll end up happening is it will look like a clump of paint rather than...
You'll lose some detail, right?
Okay. So, done. That's it for today. We will finish him up tomorrow because that eyeball alone is going to take a while. But he's fun. So I will post pictures in Discord of the in process and what we've gotten done so far. The base is looking really fun. I will probably go ahead and put that black line around the base before I get up so that I can touch it again by tomorrow. But that's going to be it for us. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Back real quick because that actually will make my life much easier for tomorrow, because I always like to have a clean edge, whether it's black or chrome or whatever. I always like to have a nice clean edge, so I'm gonna do that now. I'm just knocking things over, and then we'll be back tomorrow at 11. I completely brain farted.
Same time as today, 11 a.m. Central Time.
And we will finish this guy up. And do a whole bunch of world building stuff, too.
Yes. Hey, folks.
I'm going to paint this, and then I'm going to go eat everything.
I will follow the eating everything.